Hello everyone, this is Dharamveer sir here. So today we are going to start chapter 11 of grade 12 maths, which is three-dimensional geometry. We have learned the basics of three-dimensional geometry in grade 11th also, and we are going to use the concepts of vector algebra that we learned in the previous chapter. Okay, and the topic of this video will be direction cosines and direction ratios of a line. We have learned about direction cosines and direction ratios in the chapter vector algebra. So we are going to learn the concept direction cosine and direction ratios of a line in this particular video. Okay, so let's start. Now the first, let me tell you the meaning of direction cosine of a line. So if alpha, beta and gamma are the angles that a line makes with the positive direction of the x, y and z axis respectively, then these angles are called direction angles, and the cos of these angles, that is cos alpha, cos beta and cos gamma, are the direction cosines of the line. Okay, alpha, beta or gamma are the angles made with the positive direction of x axis, and cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma will be the direction cosines with respect to the axis. Clear? And we have the relation, that is cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma equals to 1. Or in terms of, if we have a unit vector, then coefficients of I, j, k in a unit vector along a line are called the direction cosines of a line. Coefficients of I, j, k in a unit vector, remember this term, not any vector, it should be a unit vector along a line, then that coefficients are called direction cosines of the line. Okay, so pause and note down these points. Next, direction ratio of a line. Now coefficient of I, j, k in any vector. Now direction cosine was with respect to your unit vector, but in case of direction ratio, the coefficients of I, j, k in any vector along a line are called direction ratios. Here the important term is any vector, and in direction cosine it was unit vector. So the coefficients of I, j, k in any vector along a line are called direction ratios of the angle. Or we can also define that any three numbers proportional to direction cosines of a line are called direction ratio. Any three numbers proportional to the direction cosines of a line are called its direction ratios. Now if we have 2 points x1, y1, z1 and x2, y2, z2, then the direction cosines of the line joining these 2 points will be x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1 and z2 minus z1. Clear? So pause and note down this point. Now how to change the direction ratio in the direction cosine? So if A, B, C are the direction ratios of a line, then dividing them by under root a square plus b square plus c square, the direction cosines of the lines will be given by a upon under root a square plus b square c square L, b upon under root a square plus b square plus c square M, and c upon under root a square plus b square plus c square N. Clear? So remember this formula for calculating direction cosines if the direction ratios are known. Okay, so pause and note down the point. Now few important points to remember. If theta is the acute angle between two lines having direction ratios a1 b1 c1 and a2 b2 c2, then cos theta is equal to modulus of a1 a2 plus b1 b2 plus c1 c2 upon under root a1 square plus b1 square plus c1 square and multiplied by under root a2 square plus b2 square plus c2 square. Two lines will be perpendicular if a1 a2 plus b1 b2 plus c1 c2 equals to 0, or in terms of direction cosine l1 l2 plus m1 m2 plus n1 n2 equals to 0. Two lines are parallel if a1 upon a2 equals to b1 upon b2 equals to c1 upon c2, or l1 upon l2 equals to m1 upon n2 equals to n1 upon n2, then the lines will be parallel. Okay, so pause and note down these important points. So keeping all these points in mind, let's start exercise 11.1. So question 1 is, if a line makes angle 90 degree, 135 degree, 45 degree with the x, y and z axis respectively, find its direction cosines. Okay, we know that the direction cosines of a line making angle alpha, beta, gamma, we have learned about direction angles. are given by cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma. So here alpha equals 90 degree, beta equals to 135 degree, and gamma equals to 45 degree. So for direction cosine, we need to find their cos. So the direction cosines will be cos 90 degree, cos 135 degree, and cos 45 degree, which is equal to 0, minus 1 upon root 2, and 1 upon root 2. We have learned how to find the value of cos 135 in grade 11th also. So if angles are given, simply the cos of those angles will be the direction cosines of the given line. Clear? So pause and note down the solution. Moving to question 2. Find the direction cosine of a line which makes equal angles with the coordinate axis. Equal angle with the coordinate axis. Now let the line is making equal angles alpha, alpha, alpha with the coordinate axis. That is, alpha is the direction angle for all the axes. Therefore, the direction cosines of the line will be cos alpha, and cos alpha. And we have learned the relation that cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma is equal to 1. So we have cos square alpha plus cos square alpha plus cos square alpha equal to 1, or 3 times cos square alpha will equals to 1. Therefore, cos square alpha is 1 upon 3. So cos alpha becomes plus minus 1 upon root 3. Now putting alpha equals to plus minus upon root 3, the direction cosines of the required line making equal angles with the coordinate axis will be plus minus 1 upon root 3, plus minus 1 upon root 3, and plus minus 1 upon root 3. Clear? So pause and note down the solution. Moving to question 3. If a line has the direction ratios minus 18, 12, and minus 4, then find its direction cosine. So we have the value of ABC. A is equal to minus 18, B is equal to 12, and C is equal to minus 4. And we have to find the value of L, M, N, that is the direction cosine. And we know that if ABC are the direction ratios, then the direction cosines of the line are calculated using the formula L equals to A upon under root A square plus B square C square, M is equal to B upon under root A square plus B square C square, and N is equal to C upon under root A square plus B square plus C square. So putting the values, A is equal to minus 18, B is equal to 12, and C is equal to minus 4, we get under root of A square plus B square plus C square equals to square root of minus 18 square plus 12 square plus minus 4 square, which will give under root 484, which is equal to 22. So putting these values in relation 1, the direction cosines of the required line will be minus 18 upon 22, 12 upon 22, or minus 4 upon 22. So simplifying, we are getting the direction cosines of the required line as minus 9 upon 11, 6 upon 11, and minus 2 upon 11. Clear? So pause and note down the solution. Moving to question 4. Show that the lines 2, 3, 4, minus 1, minus 2, 1, and 5, 8, 7 are collinear. The given points, we have 3 points: A, 2, 3, 4, B, minus 1, minus 2, 1, and C, 5, 8, 7. So the direction ratios of the lines joining A and B. We have learned how to find the direction ratio if 2 points are given, that is x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, and z2 minus z1. So the direction ratio of the line joining A and B will be minus 1 minus 2, comma minus 2 minus 3, comma 1 minus 4, which is minus 3 minus 5 minus 3. So we have the value of A1, B1, C1 equals to minus 3, minus 5, minus 3 respectively. In the same way, the direction ratio of the line joining B and C will be 5 minus minus 1, 8 minus minus 2, and 7 minus 1, which is equal to 6, 10, 6. So we have A2, B2, C2. Now we know that the lines will be parallel or collinear if A1 upon A2 is equal to B1 upon B2 is equal to C1 upon C2, then they will be collinear. So we have minus 3 upon 6 equals to minus 5 upon 10 equals to minus 3 upon 6, because both are equal to minus 1 upon 2. Therefore, since A1 upon A2 equals to B1 upon B2 equals to C1 upon C2, therefore the line AB is parallel to BC. Clear? We have used the concept that lines are parallel or collinear if A1 upon A2 is equal to B1 upon B2 equals to C1 upon C2. So pause and note down the solution. Next is question 5. Find the direction cosines of the sides of a triangle whose vertices are 3, 5, minus 4, minus 1, 1, 2, and minus 5, minus 5, minus 2. So we have the direction ratio of line AB as minus 1, minus 3, 1, minus 5, and 2, minus 4, using the formula x2 minus x1 equals to y2 minus y1 equals to s2 minus z1. So we get the direction ratios of AB as -4, -4 and 6. So dividing each by under root a square, b square, c square, we get under root -4 square plus -4 square plus 6 square, which is equal to under root 68. On simplifying, we'll get the value of under root a square plus b square c square as 2 root 17. So the direction cosines of the line AB are -4 upon 2 root 17, -4 upon 2 root 17 and 6 upon 2 root 17, which is equal to -2 upon root 17, -2 upon root 17 and 3 upon root 17. Now direction ratio of the line BC are -5, -1, -5, -1 and -2, which is equal to -4, -6, -4. So dividing each by again under root a square plus b square plus c square, that is under root -4 square plus -6 square plus -4 square, which is equal to under root 68, that is 2 root 17. So direction cosines of the line BC will be -4 upon 2 root 17, -6 upon 2 root 17 and -4 upon 2 root 17. Therefore, we have the direction cosines of line BC as -2 upon root 17, -3 upon root 17 and -2 upon root 17. So now direction ratios of the line CN. So 3 minus -5, 5 minus -5, -4 minus -2, which is equal to 8, 10 minus root 2, -2. So again finding under root a square plus b square c square, we get under root 8 square plus 10 square plus -2 square, which is equal to 168, that is 2 under root 42. So direction ratio of the line CA will be 8 upon 2 root 42, 10 upon 2 root 42 and -2 upon root 2 root 42. On simplifying, we are getting the direction ratio of CA, direction cosine of CA as 4 upon root 42, 5 upon root 42 and -1 upon root 42. Clear? So pause and note down the solution. With this, we end the exercise 11.1. So solve the remaining sums and don't forget to solve the examples given before the exercise. Thank you and all the best.